we finished our drawing. The first thing we did was understanding turmeric and coffee, how they work together, how to lay this wash. Then we did the drawing of our pots. So the first thing that we're going to do is take a thick brush. You can even use a flat brush if you have. That'll just make things a little smoother. But because not everybody has a flat brush, I'll continue using this thick brush. It's the thickest watercolor brush that you can have. And just add a bit more water, I think. And we shall give the entire thing a wash. So in the previous one, we did wet on wet. Actually, it's quicker if I just do it like that. Just take the color, squish it around, and then we swirl a little bit of water around it so that the edges get a little softened. Try and cover the whole of the horse and a little bit of the color, the space behind. Now I'm just cleaning my brush. I've got a clean, wet brush. Just add water to the edges, just so that the edges become a little softer, more fluid. Push it down so you have an idea. Okay, so I've added a lot of water. And what I'm going to do now is use the dryer. Okay, because it's wet, we need it to be dry completely. It's only then can we add more details to brown. So this is all you need the turmeric for. The turmeric will not give you any detailing because it's a very soft color. The yellow, brown is a stronger color, so it'll give you a more better contrast. This is just to provide nice fluid background. So we can see the patches here. So what we're going to do is, these are all grains of the turmeric. Just roughly just kind of go, taking the rough granules of turmeric out. Go in circular motions. So the smoothing of the color is a little bit more softer. This is what I've got. Very soft, very gentle wash of yellow. And we shall start with our brown tones. Now, like I taught you in the earlier coffee colors, coffee paintings, always apply the softer colors first and then add the darker tones. Okay. So I'm going to be giving first a wash of brown color exactly where I want it and leaving out the white. So there are areas that are going to be white, like this little strip here. I'm not going to touch it. And there'll be a few highlights around the nose, maybe around the eye, which I will leave. And then start adding the depth. So we will take the softest, that is the most diluted color first. So always remember, like for coffee watercolors, if you add a stroke here, it'll blend. But with coffee, it stains the paper. So if you add a very strong color in the beginning, then you might not be able to do anything about it because it just doesn't disappear. It's like a stain that, like over here, this is the little deeper color that I wanted, but that's okay because we're adding darker colors. But if it was in a place where I didn't want the brown tone so harsh, then it would be difficult softening that tone. Just smudging the edge a bit. I'm just taking a little bit of the brown color into the background as well. A soft brown color, just to give extra on the. Just a little bit on top. We've kept this part very white. We've kept this part very white. And around the eyes. The detailing of the eyes and the nostrils we will do with a thinner brush. So I'm just going to take slightly thin brush, the middle brush that would be number 6 or number 5, 4, and just adding a little detail a bit inside the nostrils and leaving a little white around the nostril and giving the tips. I will also add the hair, the wash for the hair. So again, I'm not using the darker tones, just using the lighter, watery tones. Now, once this is done, I am going to add the darker tone, the darkest, exactly where I want it, so that the depth is outlined once and for all. So I've added the dark tone here, and then I'm just wetting my brush, not adding any more color, just spreading this out, the dark tone. Okay? Now I'm taking the colors. Make sure that you're careful with the outline. I'm just adding the shadow, okay? Just in the main areas where the shadow is. It's just under the hair, in the ears. So once we know the light, darkest tones, then we can just kind of add the mid tones slowly. So you can see better. All right. So the darkest and the lightest tones are done. Just adding a little more depth and dark tone here. Then you have very, very strong shadow here. Just add this much and with a slightly diluted brush, adding a little water. So here, because see this is a massively 3D thing, okay? So be very, very slow and deliberate. This was the darkest tone. Now I'm just, I have the thick color in the deep color in my hand, in my brush. But I'm just kind of taking a little water at a time because there's still color there. Okay. And just instead of taking the medium tone, I'm just adding with that dark tone only. Just spreading out wherever I feel I need to add. See the way I'm building up the depth. Okay. A little more darkest tone. Keep it soft. Try and whenever you feel there's a very sharp edge, just take a little water and in that same brush and just smoothen out before it becomes a dark tone that you can't remove. Still taking the darker tones up and working up layer by layer depth. Now I'm taking the middle tone. We will come back to the darkest tone later. I'm just going to build up the rest of the body. Just blending the wet brush. For the hair, I'll be using a very thin brush when I do the final detailing. But right now, I'm just adding in the strokes and flow of the hair. So this is our basic structure. And now I'll take the thinnest brush and start adding the finer details. So this is like the zero number that you might have or the number one. Take the darker color. Yeah, so some strands of hair were here also. Wavy, curly, beach type hair the horse got. Beachy waves. I'm just gonna add so I'll take a slightly thicker brush, and I'm going to add some coffee drops. It's entirely optional. Okay, just to add a bit of